Your explanation. Explain. So, what lucky landmass gets the honour of all these explanations? This one. The names this island has and the way the land is split is something I find fascinating, and hopefully you will too. To start with, we have the geographical name for the entire island, New Guinea. Before having this name, the island had another name, Papua. The name Papua lacks one clear origin, yet a popular theory, and the one I like most, is its two words from the Tidor language, Tidor being a tiny island near New Guinea, combined. Papa meaning to unite and Ua meaning negation, coming to mean not united. This is because the name Papua was only used to refer to parts of the island. It's interesting. New Guinea is one of the largest islands in the world, but the land has never been united. In the 1500s, the island first began being explored by the West. It was Spanish explorer I'm just going to call this guy Fred. Fred named the island New Guinea, and yes, of course, there is an Old Guinea. Fred named the island after the Guinea region of Africa, as he felt the natives of the island looked similar to the natives of Old Guinea. A tad racist? Yeah, but unfortunately a lot of things were in the past. It was also when the West came to the island and began getting divided, and for a time it was completely under European control. In 1828, the Netherlands claimed the western half of the island as Netherlands New Guinea. Then in 1883, the British colony of Queensland in Australia annexed the southeastern part of the island. However, the United Kingdom superiors in Queensland revoked the claim and took direct responsibility for the land in 1884, naming it British New Guinea, when Germany claimed the northeastern part as German New Guinea. The state of the island remained relatively like this until 1905, when the British government gave some power of their southeast territory to the recently formed Commonwealth of Australia, and in 1906 gave the rest of their power over the land to Australia, and British New Guinea became the territory of Papua. Then again, during World War I, Australian forces seized German New Guinea, which eventually became the territory of New Guinea. Collectively, the eastern part of the island claimed by Australia became known as the territories of Papua and New Guinea. Man, those Australians really wanted that island. So by the 1920s, we have the west of the island under Dutch control and the east of the island under Australian control. Yet with foresight on our side, we know things don't stay that way. First off, in the west with Netherlands New Guinea, their closest country neighbour, Indonesia, which had earlier become an independent nation breaking free from Dutch control, wanted to claim that land as their own. They launched an attack against the territory, which didn't go too well. Yet despite a loss, pressure from the United States and fear that the Indonesians would invade again, the Dutch agreed to re-enter negotiations, and after a lot of dull talking, the land was given to Indonesia in 1963. On the Australian side, however, things aren't quite as exciting. No war, no pressure, no Dutch. It kind of just happened really. The land eventually became known as Papua New Guinea. It became self-governing in 1973 and achieved independence from Australia on the 16th of September 1975. This is how the island is split to this very day, except there's a tad more to it than just separate country in the east and region of Indonesia in the west. For the region of the island that belongs to Indonesia is actually split a further time into two separate provinces, Papua and West Papua. Not only that, but the country of Papua New Guinea is too split into four regions: the Highland region, the Island region, the Mamasi region, and yes, of course, the Papua region. And yes, each of these regions in turn split into smaller provinces, but let's not talk about those. So we have one island that consists on the east of four regions that create a whole country, and on the west two provinces that create one region that adds to one whole country, giving us a lot of interesting names and a very interesting history. Well, I think so anyway.